Okay, so this is important for you to implement these in order, and this is number 16 out of 16. So all the 16 steps lead to this, okay? And what it is basically an extension of number 15. Number 15 is taking everything to the next level, right? Well, number 16 is never quit. And in my case, I never plan to retire. Okay, the whole idea of retiring is quitting what you're doing. Okay, so if you quit what you're doing, then you stop improving and you crash. You know, I could imagine, you know, if I'm going in the right direction, I'm doing all these positive things, and then I were to stop doing those, then, I mean, why would you do that? You know, try to push out and expand as much as you possibly can, because you have a life to live. And if a portion of that life you're stopping, what are you doing? You're just wasting time or whatever. What are you doing? So never quit, okay? Never quit, no matter what it is. If it's a small task, you want to make sure that you get it done. You know, like I said before, ideas are great, but they're completely worthless on a piece of paper. They have to be implemented, and they have to be implemented to completion successfully. So in order to do that, you have to push through, and you have to never quit, because if you quit, then it's not going to be finished. It's not going to be implemented, and it's not going to have any value. You basically have negative value because you just wasted your time trying, and then you quit. So quitting has a small context and then the large context as far as retiring. So you may change focus, you may change careers, you may change things, but you're going forward and you're trying to escalate and go improve yourself constantly. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to go up, 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 no matter what, until you die. You know, keep going forward, because you don't know what your potential is. You don't know. There's lots of people that they thought they achieved everything in their entire life. They were completely satisfied, okay? And then they accomplished something that blew that out of the water, and they didn't even know that they can accomplish it. And it was like they lived this entire second lifetime just because they were able to accomplish just this whole nother level of accomplishments, whatever the case may be. In this case, it was a writer. But no matter what you're doing, whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever it is that drives you, if you keep on going and keep on pushing, then you can accomplish way more than what you could possibly imagine. That leads back to you don't know your potential. But as soon once you quit, once you reach a point where you're going to stop, then you know your potential, and that is basically giving up. You know, so that's the final step. You want to concentrate on your legacy. Now, here's something that might make you motivated for this whole. It might seem like, well, you know, if I can't retire, then it seems some people see that as a negative thing, but I see retirement as a negative thing or whatever. But if you're not doing what you love to do, if you're not doing what you're happy doing, or if you're not happy doing what you're doing, I should say, then you don't have to retire away from it. See, the retirement, in my mind, is you want to stop doing it because you want to do what you want, right? Well, why are you doing it to begin with if you don't want to do it? Do what you want to do your whole life, not just the last 10 years or 20 years of your life. And then, of course, if you're doing it when you're older and you might not have enough money or whatever the case may be, then all of a sudden you're still in this other trap, one trap to another trap. So just do what you want. Try to figure out a way to do what you want that's going to be uplifting to everybody else and to yourself, and just keep moving forward with that. So what I was going to say, something that's going to make you really maybe feel really motivated in this, is think about how people are going to remember you in 1,000 years, okay? Like, if whatever you do, let's say you're an electrician or a plumber, and then you work for 20 years or whatever, and then you retire, it's hard to imagine that people would remember you in 20 years, okay? 1,000 years, sorry. 1,000 years from now, what can you possibly do that's going to stand out to benefit other people to the level of you're remembered in 1,000 years from now? So I'm actually standing in front of a graveyard over here, and all these people lived and died, and 1,000 years from now, what are they going to be known for? What is it that they will be known for? What is it that I'm going to be known for? These are kind of the questions that it's not really easy to answer, but it's something that I think is very important for us to think about, because we're thinking about outside of our lifetime, you know? So that's bigger. That's a broader spectrum. If you just take like a calculator and say, okay, well, I was born, like in my case, I was born in 1974, okay? So if I were to just say, let's say my life expectancy is, 85 or whatever, right? So I just add 85 to that and look at that number, and it's like, okay, I'm going to live to this particular date. And well, shoot, this date is not that far from that date, relatively speaking, okay? So what are you gonna do in that time? Even if you're 20 years old and you're gonna live to 80, expectedly or whatever, you don't know when you're gonna die. But let's say you think, okay, I'm gonna live till I'm 80, and you're 20 years old. Well, shoot, that's 60 years. But 60 years goes by super fast. Just ask somebody who's 60 years old, and they'll tell you that their life went by pretty darn quick, depending on their choices, of course. So think about that. Think about legacy. Think about 1,000-year stuff, 20,000 years, whatever the case may be. I think 1,000 years, because that is within a realm of time in which we can think of history, different historical events that happened 1,000 years ago, and we can actually study people that lived 1,000 years ago. So what did they do? Study people in the past. What did they do to stand out to where we remember and we study these people now? So anyways, just the different things to think about. Thank you for watching. This has been the 16 steps. This is the final step, and there probably will be some other steps wedged in, or some ideas or expansions of these different steps in the future. And of course, you can add more information in the comments, and make videos and share them with me, and I'll share them too. Things that actually got you and pushed you forward. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.